Well, hello guys, it's Aquatic Land TV here. Welcome to the first Prediction Tuesday video of 2023. I haven't done one of these Prediction Tuesday videos since last year before I went to Disney. So, this is going to be the first official episode of 2023. This is going to be a lot of fun to try to figure out what is going on with Mojang and their schedule for snapshots. They've been on holiday ever since they put out 1.19.3. And they haven't said a single thing about when the first snapshot for either 1.19.4 or officially moving to 1.20 is gonna be. So, our job in this series is to wonder when that is gonna be and try to predict when it's gonna be. I am not a Mojang employee. I am from Kentucky, not Stockholm, Sweden. So take what I say with a grain of salt, because I'm not always right, okay? I've been doing this series for a while, since like the Nether update or Caves and Cliffs, all the way back in those days. So I've been doing this for a while. That was on my old second channel. If you want to see more about my old second channel, go to my first video on this channel and you will hear all about that and the story that led up to this channel being a thing. So, what is going on with Mojang and their schedule? They have had backlash with 1.19. They are still, at this point, probably going to be working on minor bug fixes for 1.19 going forward for a little bit whenever they do start back doing snapshots. I just see them totally making a 1.19.4. I just hope that we don't get to the point where we're going all the way up to 1.19.10 like what happened with 1.7 and 1.9. They are changing their tactics for how they put out minor versions. As you guys saw with 1.19.3, it is the second time ever in a while that they have given us something other than bug fixes in a minor version. Now, if you didn't know, the Piglet and Brute came in a minor update. So, it was a last minute addition to 1.16. So that was pretty cool to see. Now, we did get this whole thing with data packs where they do just like Bedrock Edition, where they put it behind a toggle and then after a certain amount of time they release it once it's done with, and then eventually it builds the update. That's how Bedrock does it. You know, we used to just get snapshots every week, and eventually they would go into pre-release stage, and I still do this, but it's just more to be like Bedrock Edition. So, yeah, you have to do everything to try to align with Bedrock Edition for some reason. Some things are good to align with Bedrock Edition, but not everything. Do I think there will be a snapshot tomorrow? I'd be very surprised if they would do such a thing as put a snapshot out tomorrow. I'd be very impressed. I would be satisfied if it was 1.19.4 or 1.20. I just wish it would be just 1.20. It makes sense for them to put out a snapshot tomorrow. Now, here's how I have seen Mojang do in the past. The latest I have ever in a while seen them start a update cycle, which I thought was ridiculous because it only gave us 3 months and a little bit of June to work on the wild update. They started it in March of last year and was done by June. And so they had March, April, and May and a little bit of June to develop the wild update. They could have gone to August and I would have been satisfied. They called it the wild update, but it wasn't wild enough. So, it delivered the warden. That was a good thing. It gave us frogs. That was a good thing. But it should have just given us more content. They should have worked on it longer than they did. They should have already had 1.19.123 out directly after they finished the actual update. But they waited a few months or something. I can't even remember when they released 1.19.1 and 2. But when I was going to Disney, they released 1.19.3 and have been on vacation ever since. So I hope that they would put out something very soon. They love to do this and take a little, extra time in January to rest up and get back to doing stuff in February. Because I remember with the update Aquatic, that's when they put out the first snapshot for that update. And then we had the Nether update. So that came out in February. The first snapshot did. So, yeah. But the latest I've ever seen them do any update cycle is March of last year. That was just absolutely ridiculous. Now, you could say that we did get a look in February at the ancient city for the first time last year. That was good. But I'm talking about how crazy it was for them to just leave 3 months. Granted, they didn't really miss a single snapshot for the wild update. They had every snapshot every Wednesday, sometimes on Thursdays if they had technical difficulties. I do have to brag about that. But I just don't think that even next week is going to be a snapshot. We'll just have to wait and see, okay? Like I said, they could just pull a curveball and put one out tomorrow. The Bedrock people had their first beta, so it makes sense for them to put out a Java Edition snapshot tomorrow, if they so choose. Don't go beg the Minecraft developers to put one out. They will block you. I'm hoping they do it in February. I hope it's not going to be another March situation again where they're going to release this update in June and only have like 3.5 months to work on it. They used to take like 6 months to make a whole update back in the day. So, that was just so much better than the way they did it last year with the Wild Update. Here's the thing to remember. If they don't put out a snapshot or say anything before 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, because I'm in the United States, that means that they're not going to put out a snapshot, more than likely. That's what it means. Now, in the past, they have put them out if they run into technical difficulties and they just, surprise us out of nowhere in the afternoon. But it's very rare that happens. So, overall, I would just keep my expectations low because it's not a very big chance that they will put one out tomorrow. As I said, they could just surprise us and give us something pretty spectacular for the start of the year. Now, what they have done before also in the past is do snapshots for the future versions and come back to a minor version. They did that with 1.16, I'm pretty sure. So, that's also a possibility. So, the likelihood of tomorrow having a snapshot, I would give it really a very low chance of coming out tomorrow, to be honest. Just with the pattern of, how they've gone in the past, starting in February, the latest could be March. That would be annoying. But that could be the latest they would start. So, I don't think they would go further than March for 1.20. So, who really knows at this point? I hope that you have enjoyed this first episode of trying to figure out what's going to be in the snapshots. So, I hope that you've enjoyed the first actual prediction of the year. We'll just have to see. You guys know, before I decide to cover a snapshot, I always look at what it has inside. So depending on what's on the changelog, that determines if I cover the snapshot, if it is like a minor version. So if it's a 1.20 snapshot, more than likely, I will cover it. Alright, so if you see that either one, I have uploaded a 1.19.4 or a 1.20 video, you know one or the other has come out because, of course, I made a review on it. Alright, so, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Like I said, take everything that I have said with a grain of salt. If tomorrow, if it gets to 1 in the afternoon or 2 in the afternoon, wherever you guys are, and they haven't put one out, you know one's not coming. So if you did enjoy, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye! By the way, Bryce is a noob.